in late 2010.
Okay.
Started the City Tour company in 2012, and co-founded Safe Boda with Max and Alistair around June 2014. We've been in this industry for now 8 years, I would say, close to 8 years. We're soon celebrating our 8th year. Actually, it's June, so it's just the right time to talk about that as well.
Okay.
And our aim from the very beginning has always been to improve the lives of those who are already in the industry, but also make it much more safer and smarter for people to enjoy some of these services.
Okay.
We started off with around 20 boarders. We were our friends in 2014.
And they registered?
Registered, trained, and equipped them, and they helped us build the community. That by the end of 2015, we had around 150 boarders.
Wow.
By the end of 2016, we hit 1,300. By the end of 2017, we hit around 3,000. And we've been able to grow up to date. We've been able to train over 25,000 safe boarders in Kampala. And we've also expanded beyond East Africa. We've been in Mombasa, we've been in Nairobi. We pulled out of those markets because of the difficulty that we went through as a world. But also we are live in Ibadan, where we have over 10,000 boarders who are well trained, well equipped. It's in West Africa. It's a city in Nigeria. So an initiative that started from Chevron, Kampala, Uganda, has been able to cross the border. And we think this is time for us to export technology, not to import technology, because as Africans, we're well placed to know our problems, which in this case I would call them challenges, and figure out the best solution and provide that solution to the rest of the country. Boda Boda is not only in Kampala, it's not only in Uganda. You have over 10 million borders across Africa. And in Kampala, you're talking about an industry that accounts for direct employment of a little bit over 1 million people, and indirect employment of a little bit over 7 million people. And it's an industry that accounts for 15% of our GDP. So it's quite a big industry. Second biggest employer of young people after agriculture. So it makes it extremely important to even talk about it.
Okay.
Right now on Smart 24 TV.
Okay. So if you were to take us as well through the journey, how has it been so far? Because I do believe when you're starting up something like that sort, 2014 you mentioned. Yeah. So 2014, back then when digitalization into business wasn't that a vital tool, not anyone could actually consider it in Uganda, though other countries were actually shaping it up, and it could only take a wise and I would say a stronger mindset for someone to say, let's just risk it all and get into this industry, which became an opportunity that you at least became the champions of it. But when you to take us through the journey, how has it been so far? You said you're marking 8 years, but how has it been?
It's been a tough journey. It's just like the road to our villages. There's no straight path. You keep rotating that I want to end up to. But I just want to give an idea that when we entered in this industry, it was a time that people literally had all negative sentiments about the Boda Boda industry. Everyone would tell you how bad Boda Boda people are, how discriminative the industry was, and how fragmented the industry was. But we sailed through that storm as well, and that provided a perfect opportunity for us to build a community of people who could be easily identified. The biggest problem we had, or we still even have today, is that people say, "Oh, our border," right? And our border includes even you, who is riding on a bajaj coming to work as a journalist. There's not been a clear description of who a borderman is supposed to look like, what are they supposed to dress on.
And what, it's just entirely if you own a Boda Boda, you are a Boda Boda man.
Which is below 150cc, and it's any of these brands, Hero, Bajaj, Mahindra, Mahu, I've seen some of these new brands coming back to the market. You qualify to become a borderman, which is actually unfortunately not true. Because borderman is someone who is providing a motorcycle taxi business. So not everyone who is riding a motorcycle is actually a borderman. And we made it clear that we needed to provide that clear identity to someone. To create a profession that is more... Yes. Okay. Yes, identity was key. So that's why we started by making sure that our drivers have got clear identification. The reflectors is a must for them to wear. The helmet is a must for them to carry too. And what actually people don't know, because recently police just released this report, what people don't know is that there are a lot of accidents that keep happening every day. There's no one in Kampala who have never witnessed or never heard of an accident that actually happens. This means we continue to lose people every day. Statistically, when you look at the traffic report, you have over 40% of the accident cases being related to Boda Boda riders or passengers and stuff like that, which is a very sad thing. So we needed to create that identity, and we made sure that the reflectors are available. The reflector is actually a protection tool. We take that very, very seriously because the bordermen need to be seen while on the road, and a reflector provides a perfect opportunity for you to be easily seen both during the day and during the night. And it's branded in the company brand or in our brand as Safe Border, because we needed to have, because there are also other people out there. Today, Smart 24 can buy a motorcycle, give it to its staff, and someone can be riding around. We need to be able to know where you're coming from, or where do you belong, or who are you. So that's why our reflectors actually have got the branding, the logo for Safe Border, the wording for Safe Border, and also has got one unique thing which was never there in the industry. That is the name. You see how you wear your target, how you're given the ID and you keep it in the pocket, or in the wallet. For us, we keep it on the back of our reflector,
so that anyone can know who that person is.
Anyone can know, and that really helped us in building the trust that was badly lacking in the industry. A lot of brothers, actually a lot of our drivers, it because it was a very good story that people now realize they're becoming famous. You know, people want to be known in this country, and again, be by the traffic light. This is a story I had. Then, you know, like I'm Ricky, and then I have a reflector on with the name Ricky, and guys like, Ricky Vayo. It's like, man, people know me, you know, and people felt good about it. Then the two elements that we provide to these people is basically to help them be advocates of road safety. First is for them, the first element, actually, when you look at it, the element of the driver is actually way better than the one of the customer, because usually he's the leader, right? And that element is supposed to provide a layer of protection to both of them. So you have the element for the customer and the element for the driver. This is for road safety purposes. People need to protect themselves in case of a crash. In case of an accident, we want to make sure all of you are actually safe, because your chances of surviving is much higher when you're on. It's 70% higher when you have a helmet than when you actually don't. So the risk is actually way reduced, and this is why we keep calling upon our customers that please, never cause a video nganunyi, never says a video nganunyi, please yambara helmet, because it's like when you sit in your own car, and sit in your own car, ignite, and then choose not to put on a seatbelt. You're actually doing a disservice to people who love you, because in case of an accident, you'll be the ones who will be affected. If you die, you don't actually realize the pain you've given to the people that actually need you, will be crying, will be affected. And I will really say, I think it's important for all our customers and the public to appreciate that we've done this for them, and they should be able to make better decisions. Of course, helmet adoption among the customers is still low. You talk about that industry that today, as we speak, I think 30-40% of our customers wear helmet, but that's a big jump from the number that was there. Before we came in the industry, less than 1% of the passengers used to wear helmet. So it's a big change. That
it was actually a very big challenge to find a rider wearing one. But when we look still through the journey, let's look at the payment options. This from the starting point, when you started out, how would you come up and say, let's go to an option of cashless and then paying in cash, or let's say on point, Jake?
Okay.
I want to build up my questions from there.
To be honest with you, when we started this business, we never thought there would be a need for payments or for people to be able to pay using cashless. And this is usually what happens in businesses. Around 2016, 2017, when we hit like 1,000 drivers, a lot of them kept coming to us and saying, could you guys do for us something? Is there a way that you guys could allow us to receive our payment not in a cash form? And the reason was very simple, because they were losing all the money that they would be earning, because these people were earning good money, average of 50,000 shillings a day. But then what would happen is that at the end of the month, they would not, if you ask them how much have you earned, they wouldn't be telling you where have you invested your money. They wouldn't be able to tell you, because we were also looking at the development of these people. They said, but you guys should do for us something. Could we have a way for us to be able to receive and stuff like that? So it became a big burden and a big challenge that was put on our shoulder as the leaders of the business. So we started doing research and figuring out how best we could actually do this. And we did more of a mobile money integration. We sat down the team, built a wallet, and we started testing out the process. And we realized that for us to be able to achieve this, and allow these drivers to be able to receive money in a cashless form or in a non-cash form, you would say, we needed to build a wallet. And we started the process. So actually, by 2017, we already had a wallet, and we've been building it and making it better. And today, we are happy to say that with the help of Bank of Uganda, who is actually the regulator, we have attained alliances that allow us to be able to allow our drivers to receive and allow also our customers to deposit, withdraw, and do transactions directly using our platform. And this is fundamentally important for our drivers for them to be able to grow. And that's how the story came to life, because we're looking at the development of these people. Now they have a perfect opportunity using cashless, they have a perfect opportunity for them to be able to save. And also for our customers, that if you save directly into our wallet, you actually have a perfect opportunity to earn 10% annual interest on your wallet, or as long as it's 5,000 shillings and above, without you having to have any hassle. This is something that is being done exclusively by Boda, and I don't think there's any computer out there who does it better than us. We do it for our own people, and we invest.
Okay, and also if I'm to draw it in this way, I'm looking at the digital space now. You enter into the business 2014, 2015, digitalization is just taking up beat in Uganda.
Yeah.
How do you eventually break that barrier? Because I'm telling you, it was very difficult for the digital space to actually shape up the economy, not until the lockdown here, is when people realized that now everything is supposed to be both digital and mainstream. So if you're to look at that as well, how did you maneuver through that digital space?
I want to start by commenting that I think actually it was difficult or harder for some of the people who are entering into the space. But I think it's getting much more tougher for those who want to know in the space.
Because now the competition is
because
quite
now
high.
The competition is real. And I want to give you an idea that when we started at Boda in 2014, we were the only ride-hailing platform in Kampala. But because of the great work that we did and the impact that we created in the story, you had global giants that entered this space. And I hope you remember the stories of global giants, like the big guys that we used to look up to.
And they also targeted the Ugandan market.
Targeted the Ugandan from whenever they came from.
They realize now there is potential here.
And that was a big thing. That was a big thing. But then that allowed the industry to grow. When we started this in 2014, I used to have only one question from all my friends: why would I need an app for a border? And we said, okay, no problem. I think we know why you need an app, because you actually. So when we asked them perspective, what do you think about the border industry? And people would easily tell you, border men are bad, they are criminals. But then you say, okay, let me check your phone. Just type the word border. Immediately you type the word border, they have a list of border men in their phone, right?
The border guy, this guy, border, this. Yes, exactly.
It was interesting how people had trust for the borders that park outside their workplaces, park nearby their home, or their relatives.
It comes with that convenience when you know of Boda Boda.
Yeah, so, but then it was a big problem, because there was actually a real situation that whenever you want to move, you might need to call 2-3 borders, because they are not actually available for you. They're busy doing other things, and they're not planned to actually come and pick you. And you get realized that people wait 30, 40 an hour's time to get the border men that they actually know. And we were like, how about if we could just bring for you thousands of borders into your smartphone? People like, if you can make me trust, then I'm happy to use them. I'm like, okay, no problem. Then we started working on the brand and making sure that we are able to build the trust that people needed. Now, just to take you back a little bit to give you an idea of how difficult it was actually when we started, living this story still here, was that smartphone penetration at the time, especially in Kampala, was at 20-30%. That was around 2014. Today, you talk about an industry that has maybe a little bit over 60% of smartphone penetration. Internet usage was even way lower than what it is today. So, of course, today the industry is getting bigger, it's getting better. Government is making adjustments, though some regulation really we don't feel like they're very good for the industry, but at least there's a bit of adjustment that has been made, and a smartphone has become more affordable. I want to give you an idea that in 2014, for you to get a smartphone that actually worked, you needed what? Maybe a little bit over 200,000. You need like 300, 400, 500,000 to get a decent phone that actually worked. I think at the time you needed like 500,000 for you to get like a perfect phone that could work for you very well. Today you talk about if you have 150, 200,000, or even 100,000, you can actually get a decent smartphone that works. And for us at the time, it was really, really difficult, because every 10 border that you recruit, you'd only find one that has a smartphone and none that has a smartphone that actually works. So 100% of our drivers, we gave each and everyone a smartphone. Actually, even up to today, we're still giving even the new ones that we are recruiting a smartphone. And you know, when you are a pioneer in any industry, there's a lot of question that keeps coming, a lot of challenges and stuff like that. But it's a good thing when you take it with positivity. Always we have been open to our customers, to the public, to query some of the work that we do, to advise us as well. And in that way, we've been able to move with the population up to where we are. And also, over the last couple of years, government has been able to make a lot of adjustments in the regulation that now legalize some of the work that we do. I want to give you a simple example. When we started, I would go to Minister of Works and Transport and say, you know, I'm from Safe Boda, this is what we are doing, and the guys will look at their law and there's nothing that talks about us. And they would struggle to deal with whatever we are talking about because they know us, they appreciate the work that we do. Actually, I think I did like a 3-hour presentation with the team at Minister of Works and Transport. They were mesmerized, they were really humble. But when you say, can we work out something together? Can we get formal? There's nothing that the law says, right? And then
you're not being regulated whatsoever.
You're not being regulated because there's nothing that the law, because the Road Safety Act was made in 1998, the original one that I think I could remember, and that was the one that was amended actually in 2020 around March to actually now accommodate the border industry, the ride-hailing platforms and all this, the digital operators and stuff like that, which right now I really appreciate the team at Minister of Works because now they're working on the final regulation. They have done the act. It was passed in Parliament, now they're doing the regulation to be able to make us legal with the work that we do. And I think that's a great achievement towards the right direction. And some of these things really take years. And you know, when you're doing something great in a space where government cannot properly come on board to have some control and regulate you, sometimes it also frustrates.
Now, Papa, after the break, I want us to look into the current situation that is actually shaping up the digital space. One, for the transportation. One of those, I would want to have some of those questions answered on the issue of affordability, why most of these prices are quite very, very affordable for most of the people. How do these Boda Boda riders that are attached to your brand benefit more, and why would someone, if it's a Boda Boda, a lay Boda Boda person out there, would choose to actually work with your brand as well? So those are some of the questions that we are definitely going to be discussing after the break. Stick around with us. I'm still here with Papa Ricky from Safe Boda as we're discussing the transportation business in Uganda and most probably the Boda Boda industry. Keep around. Good morning. We've got